Hello, good evening, everybody. This is Ade Aluko on Tina Talk Show. You are listening with us on Tina Talk Show live. Wherever you are watching us from, we just want to thank you so much for coming in, being part of today's special topic. Today's topic is an amazing one. I just can't wait. The same as you can't wait, I can't wait because I have special guests here with me. And first of all, I just want to thank all of you who has been following me, being part of Tina Talk Show. I just want to thank you so much that we really do appreciate you, and thank you so much. Also, I would also encourage you, please do share this video because there's something, you see, like I always say, we have to, God reveal things to us in so many ways. It doesn't mean that we have to be sleeping or even when we are awake, or true informations when we know something. That is what God is looking for us. I just want to thank you, Mr. Ade. I have a special guest here I want to introduce to you. Mr. Ade is really Mr. Ade Aluko.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming today. It's such an amazing, it's a blessing to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you for putting an interest and insight into what we're about to discuss today. So
Amen.
I'm really grateful to be here.
Good. And just those of you who don't know Mr. Ade is a UK-based comedian. He's a wonderful man. He's a comedian and he's also a warrior. And we're going to tell you, as trying to, through this process, through this talk, you'll be able to see why he is a warrior. We want to dive into a particular topic that not all of us, not everybody is aware of.
Yeah.
For me personally, I feel privileged, Mr. Ade, to have you come. All my life, I had this narrow mindset or perception. Let me make sure we are here. I have this narrow perception about sickle cell anemia. Because of how families, the way families has introduced it to me, I have this belief that for you to have sickle cell anemia, it's like death penalty. It's like, for what I understood those days, and even until I met you, honestly, even though I live in Western world, there's so many things that I'm still learning, and which is that I always think that sickle cell anemia, they don't go past certain age 19 years. The max is 21. That is how I know about sickle cell anemia, that once you have it, you can't pass 21 years old. Listen, this is going to shock you, that not what the doctor said or not what you know. This is the reason why Tina Talk Show is dedicated to bring enlightenment to us, to bring things to us so that we can be awakened to certain things, especially this stereotyping thing, prejudicing against people, so that we can drop all that and look at life, that we are all on a journey. It doesn't matter what we are going through, you understand? So, Mr. Ade here, can you please tell us how old you are?
Well, I'm just gonna say thank you to the Almighty for blessing me this year. I see my 40th this year.
40th birthday. Audience, did you hear him?
Yes, sir.
It's 40 this year. I personally have always have this narrow mind that when you have sickle cell anemia, you don't go more than 21. You understand? And not only did I have that in my mind, I always think, are they ever going to get married? And who is going to marry them? Please, can you tell them that there's a wedding bell on the...
Well, basically, what I'm going to say is that, you see, you just have to put your trust in the Lord, first of all, because there's a lot of things that I used to doubt in my life that's going to happen. And God has proved me wrong. Proved me right. Proved me so many right time to show that He has shown me that you thought you never achieve that, you have achieved it.
Wow, amen.
So yes, I definitely have somebody that's in my life that's understandable and strong, and then she's got crown on her head that
big crown.
Yeah, that she understand my kind of lifestyle. And trust me, I'm not an easy person. You understand? And
she's able to carry that cross for you.
She's like, I'm here. No matter, you're not kicking me anywhere. I'm here. So I'm very grateful for her to be in my life.
Amen.
So,
Amen.
and also to my mom as well, because she has been my backbone from very young. So she saw the first stage.
Yes,
of suffering this.
Yeah, we are going to get to that point, Mr. Ade. And also, I'm just trying to get people, just in case somebody's watching and you are thinking like I was thinking until now. Again, I used to think that when you have sickle cell anemia, that you can't have children. Mr. Ade here, please, can you tell them that you broke that?
One more time. Yes, I'm a father as well. Father of a very handsome 4-year-old boy.
Wow.
And to my surprise, it's shocking to me. And I'm privileged and I'm blessed.
Yes, yes.
To have a child. And for those people that's having doubt out there that do you think one day you're gonna have a child or you're not gonna have a child, trust me, it's possible. You just there's ways to just keep positive and keep prayers in your thoughts, and once you go over that, everything will come into places.
Yes. As you can hear.
Yeah.
He has a son. I was privileged a few days ago to speak to this one. The boy is so smart, so active. Like, I was, he literally was the person that answered the dad's call when I called. He was the receptionist. So that's how smart the child is that God has blessed both of them with. You see, I'm just pointing all those areas for you to see that this life, it does no matter what come to us, God will always prove himself in our lives. Because when we have this stereotype mind that this is how it's supposed to be, who who has spoken when God has, who will say when God has not spoken?
They said if it's for you, who's against you? You hear me?
You understand? And we know that there's even a lot of people, they don't have all these things, but they didn't live up to 10 years.
Yeah.
Some children come today and they go. You understand? So not everybody that is even AA live up to 40. You understand?
Yeah.
So I want us to, this is what I want to bring to people. Do you understand? That even sometimes some people, you don't have sickle cell anemia, you don't have that, but still you can't find true love. You understand?
Yeah.
Still you can't find true love. So it cannot stop you if the door is open for you. Nothing. No condition. You might think, oh, I'm healthy, I can find true love. We can see that even with that challenge that he has, a lovely woman who understands, like he just confessed that he's not an easy man to be with, but he was able to find a wonderful, gracious woman who says, I'm gonna be there for you, no matter your flaws, no matter the challenges. I am going to be there with you because I love you. And to seal that, God has blessed you, the two of you. Another thing again I want us to look at, Mr. Ade, is this. A lot of people, especially I hope that, apart from us in diaspora, that people from Africa will be able to hear this.
Okay.
Actually, I have had some texts or messengers, friends on Facebook, who have this like organization that about sickle cell foundation and all that, bringing the awareness of sickle cell to Nigeria, and they kind of inboxed me and was now saying, oh, that's a very good topic and how can I collaborate and how can they interview you and things like that. So we hope that they would hear what you have to say, and by the grace of God, somebody out there will find a healing through this our talking. First of all, what we want to understand is, what is sickle cell anemia?
Well, basically, sickle cell anemia is like a blood disorder that affects our hemoglobin. So hemoglobin is a substance that carries oxygen through our system.
Yeah.
You understand? And normally in human beings, they have a normal red blood cell, which is basically a circle.
Okay.
Looks like a circle. But our one is shaped into a sickle shape, which is like C.
I think somebody said we should speak louder.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So, like I said, the hemoglobin carries oxygen into our system. So when there's a low oxygen in our system,
very interesting. Yeah, let me push this thing forward a bit.
when there's a low oxygen in our system, our blood cell turn into a sickle shape.
Yes. Okay.
Which is start clogging our vein.
Okay.
And then start blocking the flow through the system with oxygen. And when that is blocked, we start again excruciating pain.
Okay.
Yeah. And sickle cell anemia originated from birth. You understand? So basically, it's a blood.
So it's a blood. Okay. So one is born with it.
Yeah. So basically, it's an abnormal gene that you inherited from your parents.
Okay.
So, for example, if both of your parents are AS, there's 1 in 4 chance that one of the child is gonna come out as a sickle cell child. And I was the one that was lucky with that. So basically,
I like that word. I like that word.
I don't.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't.
I like that word. I love it.
I don't like to say the other word. I
mean,
said I'm blessed with it.
Yes.
So I collected the S from my mom and the S from my dad, which come into a full-blown SS.
So 2 of them are AS and AS.
Yes. So when they have, for example, now there's 4 of us in our family. So when they had the firstborn, they gave the A from dad and A from mom.
Okay.
To the firstborn.
To the firstborn. Okay.
So the secondborn now it has A and it got the S from mom. So he's AS. So he's got the trait. And me, I got the full blown, which is SS. You understand? The last one, luckily, he turned out to be AA. So sometimes it can happen. You can have 2 SS in your family. You can have 3 SS in your family. So it can come out anyway. And the sickle cell disease itself is very excruciating pain.
Wow.
A lot of people have different description of how it affected them. But in my own version, when I was younger, I used to describe it as somebody using an hammer to hit my bone consistently, and it's very painful. You're rolling on the floor, you're screaming in pain, you're just trying to feel ease.
Wow.
You understand? And back in Nigeria, when I used to grow up in Nigeria, I remember the way I used to manage it is by having somebody sit on my back or sit wherever I'm having crisis.
The pain.
Yeah. So the crisis can come in any shape. It can come in your hand, it can come in your leg, it can come any part of your body. But the worst part that for me is chest and back. You understand? So when it's happening, I get somebody to actually sit on my back
to ease the pain.
To ease
or,
the pain.
Or kind of to add to it, to make it to add. Or
well, it's like the more pressure I put on top of it, the more I feel like the pain is going to
like it sounds like something to distract your mind away from the actual pain. And while you are feeling the weight of that person, your mind is deviated. Kind of thing.
And I found it very helpful when I was younger, because I used to disturb my little brother when we're sleeping and I'm screaming and he can't sleep. I was like, bro, the only way you have to sleep is by you sitting on my back. So he will sit on my back until I fall asleep. I feel
better.
That sleep. You understand? And then he can sleep. You understand? And then back in Nigeria, we was not in the rich part, so we had to survive minimum wage and stuff. And also, hospital, if you don't have money in Nigeria, you're not gonna see the right doctor.
That must be being in an environment where there is no adequate medication and the money is not there. It must be really tough.
It was tough. And also then times, I remember my pain used to last at least 2 weeks, and I used to be lying in bed, can't eat, can't drink. My mom, she was a strong source for me to help me till today. Back then, she was not an easy mother, so she used to punish me, like, eat your food. She would take out stick, like, eat, drink, because she knows it's painful, and It's very
But she
excruciating.
still wants
But
you to
she still
survive,
want me
to
to
live,
eat,
to be alive,
yeah,
to fight it.
So
Yeah.
then I used to look at her like, Mom, I'm sick. Why are you punishing me?
Yeah, it's like a
But she was like,
double stress, double stress for you.
But she was a soldier. You understand? And it was as a child, it was very painful, and I didn't really have a childhood lifestyle. Because nobody really want to be your friend. Your eyes is so yellow, and
so is it one of the signs?
yes, yeah, one of the things about sickle cell.
Is it when the pain hits you? Because your eyes right now is not yellow.
That's why I'm saying I'm blessed now.
You're blessed. You've always been blessed.
Yeah, I know, but then I was like, then I didn't have faith. Then I didn't have faith. Now I have faith.
Amen. And again, this is where the warrior come about.
Yeah.
This is where the warrior came about.
Yeah.
That is a warrior, a fighter,
Yeah.
a fighter. Amen.
Yeah.
Another thing I want to know is, how did it feel like? Like you're born with it. Yeah. And when growing up, when you're young, you don't really understand what it is and all that. Yeah. So this one they're laughing here. Let me know the
Don't worry, my comedian side will come out soon. Since you stay with us, you learn so much. So much
laugh. That's good. That's interesting. Exactly. So if it hits now, there's something to.
Yeah, I know.
They will hit now. Amen.
Yeah.
Now, yes, you were born with it.
Yeah.
Okay. And so when we were young, we don't really understand what we're going through. Until a certain age, and then we now learn to see that, I have this, or I'm having this challenge, and my siblings are not having this challenge. How did it feel like when you actually come to know that you are born with it?
Well,
what age were you like?
Okay.
When you really like you said, "Wow, this is who I am."
Okay, I remember my first episode that I can clearly remember. In Lagos, in Nigeria, and like I said, we didn't have the
facility, the medical facility.
So my mom went to work, so I went to the back to go and wash dishes.
Yeah.
So back then, when you wash dishes, you bend down.
Yes.
And you wash dishes like this. So nothing was wrong with me. I was washing dishes, and the next thing, I couldn't stand up from my bending position.
So that was the first time you actually realized that this is happening.
So
what is this?
Yeah. So I couldn't get up from my bending position, and I was crying because it was so much pain in this knee joint, and they had to come and carry me away from that position to go and lay me in bed. And when they lay me in bed, I still wasn't able to straighten my leg. It was so painful. I can remember that day till today. And they have to force my leg straight and with hot water and rub.
Is it like kind of like to melt?
Yeah. It was the most excruciating pain. I remember that day till today. And after that, I didn't know what sickle cell was then.
Maybe mom and dad knew.
Mom and dad
but
knew.
You think it's no. Sometimes you just think that it's one of the children illness and all that until you actually grow and then step up.
Yeah.
To say this is me.
Yeah. So after that day, then I started realizing, oh my God. So she basically mentioned it to me that this is gonna be your cross in life, and you have to carry it.
At that period, at that time.
Yeah.
Because she know that one day you are going to understand what you're going through. That this is not fever.
Yeah.
Yes.
So and then from then now, and then I started to see more pain, and there was times that I would have crisis pain, and I would just be screaming 3-4 days in pain. You understand?
Yeah.
And there was a time that she came to United Kingdom to come and work, and then I had to stay with my grandma.
Who, your mom?
Yeah, my
your
mom.
Parents?
My mom came to UK to come and work, and I had to stay with my grandma. This is where I discovered herbal medicine.
Back home.
Herbal medicine.
Yourself, you now had to.
No, my grandma.
Your grandma.
Yeah, she was blessed. God bless her soul. Nice. She was really good to me. She tried all her best, like Hagbo, This agbo, yeah, when I tell it's bitter, and
agbo is bitter. Even my kids. Each time I go to Nigeria, I go to agbo. We have to fight. I still have them there.
This one, no,
they're bitter past
no,
bitter.
they're okay.
This
bitter is serious. The one that they will wake you up early in the morning and pour inside your mouth.
Serious.
So like,
wow.
And then I found out that it was helping a little bit, but it took a longer while to ease the pain.
Yeah,
you understand?
Yeah,
so I would still be lying in bed and still
like a slow. It's good. It's like but it's a slow process. It's a slow process.
You understand? So after that, that's how I knew. Okay, this condition is serious. I have to find a way to look after myself. You know.
Wow. I mean, audience, you can hear it has not been easy. You know, all the thanks to modern medicine.
Yeah.
You know, yes. Sometimes this is why I don't understand when you know some in the Christendom churches they will preach against medicine and all that. This is God's creativity that is in us.
It's grass.
You know? yes. This is God's creativity that He has, that is in us, because we are His image. You understand? So from the herbal, from the leaf grass, they turn it into medication.
Yeah.
You know, and that's why they call it drug, because even cocaine is a natural plant given to us by God. You understand?
All these drugs come
from plants.
Yeah.
You know. So when they say, only fast and pray, don't take medication, I'm like, excuse me.
And one of the things that I'm a God-fearing man. But there's this thing that people come up with when I was in Nigeria, that they say that the blood has come from SS to AA.
Yeah, please tell us that one.
That story, I believe in God's miracle. And I believe he can heal. You understand?
Yes.
But saying that story, I find it very difficult to believe.
you know that story? I think I saw it on Facebook. You know what? Well, you know what I said when I saw it? I said to myself, the first test that they did, someone made a mistake. No, it's not Nigerian. Do you know that there was one time somebody saw, there was this picture that was going viral, how the spiritual cockroach in somebody, that somebody, can you believe somebody had an operation and they found spiritual cockroach.
Wow.
That how people that they will not use it for prayer points. Any cockroach in my system. Now you said this is a comment. What would they comment it? You know, spiritual cockroach. Do you know apparently that cockroach was as a result of the Nigerian hospital, some of them, some, not all of them, that is not well equipped. So cockroach went into the telescope or whatever you call it, into the camera, and find its way through and so when they snap the person, the picture,
it looks like the cockroach.
So it looks like the cockroach is in the body, but it was a camera. So that girl, that it was a camera dysfunction, whatever. So that when I saw that video of somebody, I know, I believe in miracle just like yourself, but there are some things, especially medical, if it's medical result and all that. She said she did the first one, the second one, and they come at AA. Somebody has been making mistakes.
Somebody makes a mistake for you because it's originally from birth. It's inside the blood.
It's inside
the blood. So there's no way of changing it. I mean, there's people looking for cures, trying to find cures right now, and there's still no cure for sickle cell. The only thing I would say that is almost as cure is your water. So make sure you always drink your water.
Water.
Yes, so.
Water.
So,
water is a part of cure.
Yeah, it's like a way to wash your system, keep your blood flowing. You understand, and also empty out your system as well. I find water that has helped me very well in my
very
health.
well.
I drink a lot of water. I drink water like it's alcohol.
Did you hear? Water is very, very good.
Yeah, water is definitely
because when we don't drink water, it will dehydrate, and our body, our urine, you can see it in our urine.
Yeah.
It can get what do you call, like you can see the color change.
Yep.
Because there's no water. It's not flushing. It's
Even
not
with
flushing.
the eyes of yellow.
You can still see, anything can, yeah.
Yeah.
So you see, those are from, you can get it still. Drink a lot of water because it wash the system. So that is very interesting that, that point, because I wanted to understand at what point did you really get to say, wow, and then that was your first experience. And also, that was when your mom now said, okay, I think we need to make it clear.
Yeah.
And a lot of herbs helped at the beginning, but thanks to medical treatments now, that you are.
Don't worry, I still got story of UK.
Of your experience.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so it's really packed. Please do tag your friends, your families. This is a topic that can change somebody's life.
Yes, definitely.
You see, testimonies, the Bible that we read today, they are testimonies of what has happened. And this is why we believe how we believe today.
Yes.
You understand? So we are the New Testament of today's generation. We are the Testament, the New Testament. What happens to you today has happened before. So by looking at your story is a testimony of what God, of what has happened, and what God has done in your life, and how God transformed a lot of things. So instead of us quoting what happened to John, I quote what happened to Mr. Ade.
Yes.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
You quote what Mr. If somebody's sitting next to you who has been through, who had the same story as Job, for example, Job in the Bible that lost everything. We have a lot of men and women who lost so many things.
Yeah.
They go into business, they lost so many things. You understand? And how they managed to survive, kept the faith, and they succeeded, and everything came back in force because they've learned as well in that process. We don't need to quote, let us open to the book of Job. We make reference to who we know.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you understand?
It's been the truth.
Yes, I mean, we can see the person, we can see them. You understand? So your testimony, is an amazing one.
Thank you.
You understand that we can see the work of God today in our lives, in the people that we see.
Yes, sir.
You understand? Because we don't. Those are their stories that we are blessed with. So we don't have to. We need to acknowledge we today. We are the New Testament.
Yes, sir.
We are the New Testament. Whether in good and in bad, they've always been good and bad before, as always.
Yeah.
So another thing again is, how, just so people know, so that we understand. Even me myself, I want to understand this thing, so that I have a wider scope of understanding. How has it affected your social life? Whew. Yes, we know that Madam is there. God just packaged that one. Just package your Madam and just give, just like Eve. They say he took your rib and then created this one and just packaged it and give it another big bundle of joy.
Yes.
So it's social life, generically, in a general. Speaking generally, so how has it affected you socially?
Well, from childhood, I've always had that, like I feel like alienated
among others.
Yeah, like people always look at me differently, always feel pity for me, always don't want to be around because they never know if I'm going to be sick, or just like it felt very lonely, understand, but and even like nobody wants to be around you, nobody wants to play with you. The only friends that I really had then was my brothers, and there were so many brothers in my family. I mean, so I didn't really feel that lonely much because they're there. You understand?
Did it affect you, your siblings? Like, did they feel pressured that they have to look after you, or at that time, like?
Only my youngest one, the one that come after me, because it's like we're twins.
We're closer.
So we're closer. So it's like we just do everything together. So he affected him much because when I have my crisis, is always there. So I'm always trying to like, bro, can you help me?
Press here.
Yeah, press
Push
there,
here,
rub
do
there,
that one.
So it probably affected him in many ways that I did not understand then, but I understand now that I grew older. And coming to United Kingdom, it's another story as well. I was not the best looking kid, you know, so my eyes was really yellow, my teeth was out, and my belly was big, so I looked like one of those kwashokos kid. So and then it was just the same way, like people didn't want to associate with me, you understand? So I kind of learned how to be by myself most of the time. You understand? So I do read books and do things to make me happy than to please others. You understand? And I didn't have enough confidence to tell people about my condition until I went to university in this country. You understand? So
you became enlightened.
Yeah, because I wanted to feel normal. I want to feel like other kids. You understand? So when they say they're going outside and playing football, I want to be like, yeah.
Let me join.
Let me join.
Wow.
Then 2 weeks later, they'll be like, hey, where's Ade? You know, not knowing that I'm in the hospital, I'm sick. You know, after running around and hurting myself.
Because they didn't know that something was happening.
You know, so after my university, I did a project. I went to study film studies in Kingston University. So I did a project on sickle cell.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, and my teacher was like, "Wow, we didn't know that this is what you go through, like this pain, this excruciating and stuff like that." So they kind of understand where like the reason why I'm always missing class, why I'm always sick, why I'm not, like how it affects my social life. The question you asked, it affected my school, my education, my social life.
People treat you differently.
Yeah, people do, even at jobs. I've lost so many jobs because of this condition.
Oh, is it?
You understand? Because people are always thinking, why are you always sick? We need somebody that can work here. So if you can't work here, sorry, we have to give your job to somebody else. So
how that must have really
it
hurts. Like
it hurts. Yeah. It hurts, but when you're younger, it will make you depressed, make you feel unwanted.
Of course.
You understand? And it got after that university project, that's when I had confidence to be able to say, you know what, maybe I should be open up more. And once I start opening up more, I see doors start opening and people feel
like opening up more mean like start letting them know that this is what you are going through. Yeah. Yes.
So I'm not hiding it anymore.
Yes.
You understand? Yes. And once I start opening up, people.
So that understanding now comes in. That okay. Oh, at least he's trying to work.
Yes.
He's trying to come into employment because most people wouldn't. So let us give him. And you know that's one good thing with the Western world. Yeah. You know, once you are open with whatever it is, you will find somebody who will empathize with you and say, okay, this this is why they always ask. You know, do you have any condition that might affect
you know how many times I've said no?
Exactly. And you said no, and you see at the end, you know, you see what happens that they will not, because they don't understand. This is what we are doing today. When we understand, then we can fall in love with anybody. Then we can associate with anybody. There's no need to stereotype. You understand? So if you eventually or peradventure you meet someone, you know, you don't have to, you know, just so they know. I don't know if I mentioned it to you. Myself, the father of my children, my ex-husband, he's AS and I am AS. Yes, I am AS and the father of my children are AS. So you see, when we met. So when you told me about your warriorship thing, you know, I said, wow, you understand? This is an amazing thing, opportunity, or privilege that I've met you. He is AS and I'm AS. We were told that our children are 1 in 3. You said 1 in 4. We were told 1 in 3 would have SS. But you see, you know, but I've always had this thing. That okay, but you know, another thing that encouraged me was that there's the new kind of technology that the baby they can check the
7
baby.
months, yeah.
They can check the baby, take the amniotic fluid to check to see if the baby has it or not. Then they will give you the option to say the baby to come or the baby not to come.
Yeah.
You understand? So what happened now? So we decided we didn't allow that situation because he is AS and I'm AS too. I know a lot of friends that they were like, you want to marry him? Do you want to born C-class and all that kind of a thing?
That's the word they use.
Yeah, that's the word they use. Yeah, but it's not. It's not. They are called warriors.
Yes.
For those of you who don't know, they are called warriors. You see that word sickler? It should not be used.
Yeah.
You can see. You see how amazing. I mean, it's like every one of us. So how can you look at him and call him sickler, for God's sake? You understand? So they are called warriors. Those are the social and the medical name they call this warriors, okay? Because they have come through. I think we're all warriors. Me myself, I'm warrior. Yeah. I'm a warrior too.
Yeah, so
you understand?
yeah, I attach to it.
You know, so when we had the first one, the second one, you know, somehow, you know, with that luck, I think it was how God just wanted. That's my belief. First one, second one, third one, fourth one. Yeah, we checked. The first one was good, and do you know the heart, your heart is like hanging, but they did the test every 12 weeks. So carrying the pregnancy for 12, because before they do that test, the baby must have grown to 12 weeks. Yeah. You understand? Then they would take that amniotic fluid, check it. But luckily, the first one, has was okay. Yeah. The second one was okay. The third one was okay. The fourth one was okay. So none was taken out.
You are blessed.
You understand? Thank you. None was taken out. You know. So, but then I don't know what I would have done if anyone had become SS. But I remember that time we had the discussion, and then I said, because they explained, we said, okay, what if one of them become SS? So what's going to happen? They say, yeah, you have the choice. You understand? But I was like, do they live long? You understand? And because I had that narrow mind, but I still said, even if it's one day, I would keep the baby. You understand? I would keep the baby. That then you have this thing, people, you hear people say, oh yeah, sometimes they live longer, you know? You understand? Than that. So I was hoping on that they live longer.
And they
you know? And they do, and they do, and they do. This is my first time of seeing someone, and it's, you know, I don't know how to tell you how lucky and privileged I am to be sitting with you right now. It's a blessing. So it didn't stop us. You know, we have 4 healthy children. 4 healthy children. So what are we saying here is that please, let us begin to understand this condition.
Yes.
We're born with it. You understand? Especially from Africa. I think there's something about African in our blood.
Yeah.
You know. So it's our understanding of it that really we need to know. Another question, Mr. Ade, that I want to understand is how has this? I mean, before your madam, you understand? Before she came, did it affect your relationships, like a love life? You know,
so many ways.
Yeah.
First of all, like the first girlfriend I had in this country.
Yeah.
I was.
Oh, your first was here.
Yeah. My first girlfriend was here.
Was here? Wow.
That's what I'm saying. Nigeria, nobody wants to.
Nobody wants to know. You see, nobody wants to know. I said this one,
no.
please. So don't come down for my neck. May not come down for my neck. Oh, you see, because they don't know.
Yeah. So
wow.
So this girl, I met her. She was cool. Everything was good. And then one day I had crisis, and then she was like, "What's going on? Are you having a crisis?" I was so surprised that she said that.
Use the word crisis.
Crisis. I was like, yes. So what do you
Western
know about
world,
crisis?
so much awareness.
Only to find out that this girl, she's a warrior as well.
She's a warrior as well.
Yeah.
Ah.
But she doesn't look it. You understand?
Just like you don't look it.
I mean, that's
you don't look it.
Like I was like London girl. Yes.
Yeah.
She's okay. Like she's fine, you know.
Exactly.
And she met my mom and everything. You understand? So, and then next thing I found out she's a warrior.
Wow.
And I had to end that relationship.
You had to.
Yes, because I told her, I was like, listen.
Two of us have this situation.
Yeah, we have this situation.
Just in case we go further.
Yeah, I had to do it. I had to do it. And she was like, "But look at us, we are okay though." I was like, "Nah, I just don't want to see my children to suffer the way I suffer."
Because it will be how do I say it? The chances of having even AS will be very slim.
There's not even the A in it.
Yeah, there's not. That's what I'm saying. So the chances is not there.
Yeah, so I had to just tell her, like, you know what, it's, I love you and everything, but this one we had to stop. And she understood, because I was like, imagine, I had to explain it to her. I had to give her a visualize. Imagine I'm sick, you're sick, our child is sick.
So who's going to look after each other?
You understand? So so I had to terminate that relationship, and I still see her now, and she's got kids as well.
That's great. Maybe someone that is not SS. Yeah.
So
yes,
it's very challenging, and I've been in a relationship that some people they see you in crisis and their heart is not strong to hold it. You understand? To see you in pain, to see you in that much pain. And also us warriors, sometimes when we're having that crisis, we have this thing about us that we don't want people to come close to us, to see us at that weak
moment.
You understand?
Yeah.
So we always,
the weak time, that weakest hour.
So we always try to push away and then give reason to just throw it away like that. You understand? That's when you're younger and stuff. But you know, so there's so many relationships that I've had that, not so many, sorry. I'm not that.
No, I understand. I mean,
but there's some relationship that I've been in that it didn't work. There's another lady that I can feel that this one, she's not going to look after me. You know, because the way I was reading her, and also she's not only to be blamed. I was to be blamed as well, because I was always giving excuse and reason why we can't do this and we can't do that. So to come to the madam now.
Yes.
When I first met her, I didn't tell her straight away about my crisis. So we went on our first date, and after the date, I ended up in crisis. So she said, "Why are you?" I said, "I'm at the hospital." So she came and she saw everything, me crying, me rolling, and me in my weakest point. And I said, "Babe, are you sure this is what you want?" You understand?
Because this is me.
Yeah.
This is the real me.
Yeah. So I was like, this is it. I'm not rich. I don't have anything. This is me right now. And she said, "Yeah, I'm down."
I'm down with it.
Yeah, and then
bless her,
bless
her, madam. You're such a blessing. As you are watching, I just want to let you know that you are a blessing to all of us, to mankind. God bless you.
So after that, I was so happy, and I'm grateful that she stood by me in my weakest point.
Amazing.
And she has been amazing looking after me when I'm.
This is what they say: for better, for worse, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Not these days for better.
Assurance.
Assurance. They be giving you all the assurance that you're not going to get crisis. There's some assurance you can't give. You have to just endure and you know.
So
yes, wow.
So I mean, she's been amazing when
she's a blessing.
Whenever I'm in hospital, she comes, she brings food. You know, sometimes hospital food does not work.
Oh, it doesn't. Work.
So she will come.
They're very careful with the salt.
She will come. Even she's working, she will still try and deliver the food and try and make me happy. Trying to make me get better.
I guess that's why you're looking all.
She always do my wardrobe as well. Like, you're going to go and do that interview. Make sure you look the part.
Yes, sir.
So yeah,
Good,
thank you
amazing.
very much. So if you are watching,
sweetheart, thank you so much if you are watching. yes, amen. And I'm sure your boy is watching too. What's his name?
Aaron,
how are
Moyo.
you? Moyo. I know you are watching, sweetheart.
Yeah.
Daddy will be home soon.
Yes,
yeah. You are lucky to have this dad, eh? Wow,
Yes.
amazing.
Yeah.
What I pick from here is this, that yes, we can fall in love, we can, get on, but there's a limit to it, which is if you find someone that is SS and you are SS, the chances of having even AS, because there's nowhere you can get A. So that one, I think that is when it becomes like you just have to, like he did, just take a step back and think about the future and said, okay, is there any chance at all? Because sometimes I think why we need to point this out is because sometimes some gullible Christians, will not look at this and say, oh, God will do the miracle. But God has given us the signs. The signs are there.
Yeah.
You understand? So he knows what he creates here. He's giving us the sign. This is S and SS. God can do anything. God can make lights. He said, let there be light. He can do anything.
Yeah.
But there are reasons why certain things are the way they are.
Yeah.
Sometimes so we can use our own mind and initiative, be creative and be decideful in what we are doing. Just like we have different color, skin tone.
Yeah.
You understand? We have white, we have black.
We have brown.
I think yesterday I was sometimes something just comes to your mind like, do we really, is this, okay, if we are close, some of our skin tone are close to dark black,
But this is not black though.
Yeah, but some are, like the Ghanaians are really some skin tone really dark. But as the white people, their skin, it's not white.
No, it's
like what color is that? I was actually, my daughter was telling me about yesterday. I was like, they're not white. They're not. Where's white?
I think it's pale.
Yeah, what? This is white. No,
Yeah,
it's not even white. Yeah, this is white.
Yeah,
okay.
This is white. That's not their skin.
So this is not their skin tone.
Yeah,
so what are they color? So they have to please. You have to. We need that answer to that.
I think that's a bit like pale pink.
Pale pink.
Yeah.
So we are all colored people then.
Yeah. When they say the colors colored,
I don't understand.
Colored. Let me just slap your hand for a little bit
and see if you will not change. Yes. So that goes to show that we are the same.
Yeah.
Whatever, we are all the same. So what I'm trying to say is that, you see, God has a reason for these color shades.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand? So you cannot say, oh, why did God create it like this? He has a reason for the creation. So when you are SS and someone else is SS, is a sign that this is how it is. And that's what the Bible will say, that without knowledge, what is knowledge? Is to know.
No.
Is to know things. So if we don't know, we should ask for it.
Yeah.
Which is, we are the creativity of God. We are creators as well. God has given us, he said we are of his image. So Christ even went on to say that we can even do more than he did. Do you understand? So when we look at it that way, we can see that it's God's creativity in us that brings this possibility of knowing what is in our system. So if you are having our advice here this evening from that, if you are SS and you find someone that is SS, those are signs that God is saying, in his own experience, he took a step back. He had a relationship that was SS and SS, and there was nowhere to get A. So what he did was he just kind of nicely, ended it.
Yeah.
Because there's no point having children and the children will end up in pain. Everybody's in pain. Nobody's looking after. At least if there's one A, we could pick the A from there. So those are also ways that God is saying, okay, this road, don't go there. You understand? So that is what I want us to point out there.
Can I put a little more?
Yes, please.
And also, if you're gonna get into a relationship with somebody, at the earliest stage of that relationship, find out what your genotype is.
Just in case the person is SS, and you are SS.
And if you know that, then from there you can take your step. Don't get me wrong. I mean, look at me now. My mom made a step and she's decided to keep me.
Bless her. Bless her, mom, if you are watching.
You understand?
Thank you so much for that.
So if you both of you have to have that mindset that, okay, if it's love, we're gonna go for this. Let me tell you, we are very expensive to look after. So
tell them.
we're very expensive. There's times that relationship can be upside down because of a child having a sickle cell. Because men sometimes will be like, oh, I don't care. And women are the one that suffer most because they're not gonna give up their child. You understand? So they're gonna look after. They have to look after it by force.
Yeah.
So before you get into this deepness, make sure you do the research first. Get your genotype done. And you know, they can say love is blind, but it can cost you as well.
Love is it can cost, exactly. Love is blind, but God don't want us to be blind.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why I say no. See, vision, bring awareness, bringing awareness to us. You understand? He said He revealed things to us so that we may be revealed. What does that mean? He brings awareness to us. Revealing is bringing an awareness to us, whether through your dreams, through your open your eyes, or through somebody telling you. It's all like what you are doing. You are revealing something to us that we that don't understand will be redeemed. Do you understand? So that is what it is. You are revealing. God is revealing something through you to us that we that don't know, we would know. And you understand? And that we will have wisdom, hearing from you, to be able to not to stereotype people, to know that we are all on a journey. You understand? Some carry their own load at the back, some carry it on the head, some put on the chest, some carry it here, some carry it in the front. Whichever way, we are all carrying something.
Yes, sir.
We are all carrying something, and we are all warriors.
Yes, sir.
Everybody's
a warrior.
Yes, everyone is a warrior. Everyone is a warrior. So yes. So we've looked at, I wanted us to look at that as well. So as they affect, how you've just explained to us how it affected your, your relationship and all that. So that is, you've heard our this thing. Now another thing I want to look at is, sometimes this pain, if it happens, just like people who don't understand this thing, like you said, Africa, because Africa is not, they are not prepared to tolerate this. When it comes to health, if you are not okay, please. So, I know somebody who loves somebody so much that he quit the relationship because the girl is AS and he's AA. I asked him, I said, what is your genotype? He said he's AA. I said, what about your fiance? He said he just found out that she's AS and he doesn't want any
AS at all. But that's still okay though. That's still okay.
This is what I'm saying.
But that one doesn't have any problem. You just have a trait of the.
But you see, in Africa, once you just have that AS, that they just think is you've got the traits and that's it.
Yeah.
You're like, I'm AS, I'm fine. Like I've got the traits, but I'm okay. Like I don't, So but you quit the relationship. There's a lot of people that I know. Maybe you are there and you. The good thing is that you can check it out. You can check it out. Modern medicine, technology, you can check the baby and, and then allow God to help you to make the right decision. Because at the end of the day, if it comes like that, I mean, who are you to, I don't know, it depends on individual. Like you just saying, it's very challenging. It's very difficult to maintain. They are very difficult, as he said. Warriors are difficult to maintain, But you can see that it's possible. You can see that somebody with SS can actually live a healthy, productive life. This is why I love what I do. God just bring enlightenment, bring us to that place of revelations that we will understand things. Another thing again that, so if this happens like public and at home, you've explained to us how if you're at home, so this it's like you like someone to sit on you.
Yeah.
So if you have like a crisis when you are outside, has it ever occurred when you are outside?
Of course, I will tell you.
So how did you manage that?
That one was that was the scariest moment.
Is it?
Yeah, and it happened in Debenhams in Oxford Street.
In Debenhams of all places.
I was working there as a staff.
As a staff. Wow.
And then I went on my break. I was fine. Everything was fine. And the next thing, I came back from break and I was talking to one of the staff members that I know. And all of a sudden I started feeling this pain in my chest. And I couldn't breathe. The pain was so much that I had to sit on the floor and I couldn't move at all.
Wow. And
they had to call me an ambulance. So when the ambulance came, they came all the way to the 6th floor, which was the thing. I remember that day so much because everybody in that store was looking at me as they were dragging me in
the stretcher.
With mask on my face. I felt so embarrassed that day because people all over the shopping center,
shopping complex,
you know, and that day I was not prepared for it because I've never had crisis on road. It's at home. It's either I'm at home, and when I do have it on road, it will give me a warning first. It will give me a...
What is the one I was going to say? Does anything trigger it?
There's like 3 stages to your pain.
Let me confess to you. Let me confess to you. Before you came, I opened the windows, for fresh air to come in. And then after I remembered, I'm like, that's again the stereotype thing. Because I remember that you mentioned that cold.
Yeah.
When I spoke to you before now, you said cold, you guys can't tolerate, warriors can't tolerate cold. So in my head, I'm like, oh my God, I close every window. I close every window. I said, I went to put the heater on just in case.
Yeah, it is.
So that goes to show how what people are really going through, how people can discriminate against you people and against the warriors, and I'm glad that the awareness is there, and I hope that as you are watching you are learning something.
Yes.
So when they are coming to your house, don't go try to close everywhere, like get anxious like I was. I was like shutting the whole
Don't worry, when we get inside the place and we feel it, we'll be like, it's a bit cold there. Can you?
Okay, so
we can feel it ourselves.
You can feel yourself. So tell us. So you are going to explain. So when you said there are 3 stages to the pain.
So basically, you get the early stage, which I call the starter.
Okay, the starter. Interesting.
So basically, the early stage, you start getting this sharp pain, just like it can start from here,
from your wrist,
and it's just start pulsating. Not that much, but it's pulsating, and you start feeling it. And when you start feeling,
because the blood now is not flowing, it's clotting. It's clotting.
So you start feeling it, and that's when the first stage that I think I'm gonna be having a crisis. You understand?
Okay.
The second stage is when it start getting harder, and it start
because it's building up now. It's building up. It's blocking.
Yes,
it's blocking.
And the pain is moving from that little spot, changing to this spot, changing to this spot, changing to this spot, and the final stage, which I call the dessert, the main course.
The main.
That's when you are totally out of
it,
and you are rolling on the floor. You're screaming in pain, asking for
somebody to come and sit on you.
Sit or give you a painkiller, the strongest painkiller they can have. You understand? So when you start having that the way I've managed it now for me myself is like when I start seeing that early stage, I take my painkillers straight away.
Painkiller, okay.
So like they give me tablets that I can have at home.
Okay.
So like for example, codeine and ibuprofen. Those are the ones I work
you take with you.
Yeah. So I take them immediately when I start feeling that. You understand?
So is it that I just want to understand? Is it that the pain subside after a while?
It does when you take the
painkiller kind of controls the pain.
Yes.
So which means there's no medication to kind of help help thin the blood again, like to flow. It just
that's what
so
I was saying.
the process.
That's what I was saying. The water is very good.
Okay,
You understand?
okay.
You have to drink water at that time as well.
Oh, okay, okay.
But
So
you keep getting dehydrated while that pain is also there.
that
You
they need
understand?
more water to
Yeah.
kind of like flush the system.
So
Okay, so what I'm understanding is that the painkiller, the medication that you take, is just to help you through that, is the pain
yeah.
in that process. Why the blood goes back to itself.
Yeah.
So there's no kind of medication to kind of like help you quickly.
Okay. If when you're having the excruciating one, the one that you can't take, UK, NHS have find a way. I think they find a way.
Okay.
So there's a gas that they can give you while you're in the ambulance called Octanox gas.
Okay.
You know, the one that they give pregnant women.
Pregnant women. Yeah, I took that one.
Yeah. That gas.
No, it's just air. It's just air.
It's hair.
It's just air. Like,
you know, when it goes to your body, you feel like you're Bob Marley. Like, baby, don't worry, about it.
Cause everything is gonna be alright. I tell you. Listen, when I was having my babies, I remember the first one. When they gave me that, I was like, it was not enough. I can imagine the pain. I'll go. They said take it in. I took it. My head was woozy. I'm like, it's not helping me. I threw it away. I said I need something to take it.
Yeah. So that gas.
It just make you woozy.
Yeah, it makes you woozy.
Yeah.
It makes you. And one thing about me.
Check that. See if it's.
That's okay.
Yeah.
One thing about me is that when they give it to me, I start smiling, and I start like the pain subdued, like it goes down a little bit.
Is it? You smile.
And I started making friendly, like, oh, thank you very much for coming to pick me up at the hospital.
Yes. Let's see if somebody's calling us to find out something. Hello, good evening. Thank you for calling Tina Talk Show. What is your name and where are you calling from? You're calling from Paris. Thank you so much for calling. Yes.
I want the guest to encourage or try to explain how somebody that is a sickle cell anemia, when it's passing through psychological trauma, and when it's passing through psychological trauma, thinking how whatever it is to be on a sickle cell, when it's thinking about the pains and all the stress, and how people are being isolated, people don't want to come closer to him or her. So how can you able to cope with the psychological trauma of being a sickle cell? Okay. Maybe our guests can give us more encouragement. And as a comedian, I want to hear one or two comedy for you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, I was every little thing. Thank you so much, Mr. Fred, for coming. Yes, you understand the question, like, psychological. I think that's where the music thing will come in, like, we look into how you've been coping with that. Yes, if you can just.
So basically,
watching
the first thing I would like to say is that you have to pray, that God give you that mindset to be able to, because I won't say it was easy for me. I went through my psychological problem. You understand? And I found a way to clear my mind by thinking positive. The first thing that I thought to myself is like, okay, Ade, we know that you have sickle cell. If you don't have sickle cell, what would you be doing? And I looked and I said, you know what? I wanted to be into entertainment. I wanted to do music. So music was my first love. So I went into studio and started doing funny music, like doing comedy music and making people laugh. You understand? And I just find that it took away what I was thinking that, oh my God, when is my next crisis gonna happen? Or I'm gonna be sick next week, or nobody really likes me, or this is affecting. Like, I'm asking God, why me? You understand? Asking that question.
You did ask the question.
Why me? Out of four of us, you decide to bless me with this thing, So I found that music took my mind away from thinking about all of those stuff. So instead of thinking like, oh, when am I gonna have my next crisis, I just said to myself, oh, I got a song in my head. Let me write this song down. Let me. So I'm always filling my head with something that's distracting me away from sickle cell. And one of the things that I noticed is that when I think about sickle cell a lot, I keep getting into hospital, getting sick. And it's because I was calling it upon myself. You understand? So after a while, I just thought to myself, like, you know what? Yeah, we know you have sickle cell. Take that out of your way. And I don't think about it. I just don't. I know I have it, but I just don't want to think about it. So I always fill my head with positive stuff. So, and I'm not strong, but I do everything like I'm a strong person. So like I have that will to just okay. And one of the things that I love is I love to be on film set.
Film set. Okay.
Yeah, like I help people set up equipment and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I enjoy it. It's like something that takes my mind away from thinking about this.
Yeah, just so you know, as you are watching, you know, he was part of the camera crew and everything of a recent movie that is out, and is it out now? Desperate Mission. So he was part of the crew, the movie that was working behind the scene that made it happen.
Yeah.
So this man here is packed with a lot of wisdom. Amen.
Yeah,
so this situation, this crisis did not stop you in pursuing what you are doing. And what I like in what you just said is that you ask yourself first the question, what would I have been doing? What would I have been doing if I didn't have this situation? Okay, maybe I would have been doing music.
Yeah.
So the next thing is, why not?
Yeah.
You understand? And then you now dive into it.
Yeah. So
that is, if you, Mr. Fred, if the person is watching with you now, from what he said, you think about, because it's about focusing on that situation, and also not just because you have it can also apply in our everyday life.
Yeah.
You understand? When we have an obstacle, and for whatever the obstacle is, like I said, we all have something we are carrying.
Yeah.
Whatever that thing is about asking yourself, like I hear some people say, oh, I'm not educated. I didn't go to I didn't further my education long enough, you know, and they say, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. Then I always say, no, you can. You understand? What stops you from doing what you want to do? Okay, if you had gotten that education, what would you have done? Oh, maybe they would have done business. You can still do business. You understand? You can do anything. You understand? So you were able to distract yourself by thinking, okay, if I never had this now what would I be doing? Oh, I would be in business. I would be doing comedy, I would be doing singing, whatever it is. Why not? You know, you ask yourself that question. So it's about our mindset. Yeah. It's about our mindset. That is what, like you said, the more you think about, the more you focus on the situation, you end up in hospital. Yeah. Wow.
So so it's always good to
to be positive, to have a positive outlook.
And also you have to find something that interests in you, something that makes you happy. So if you like music, if you like writing, if you like painting, just have anything to just take away that thought off your head and just do it, you know. And I find it very helpful for me, and I find joy just making people laugh. You understand? When I see people smiling, it's just like, okay, yes, I feel at ease at my own heart. You understand?
Yeah, it's like me when I come up on camera like this, and one person just tune in, it just gives me joy. Like, wow, you know, somebody will take something from me. Somebody is interested. Yeah. Like, you feel like somebody is interested to tune in, because I could push that button, nobody's coming up. So once that person come up, I'm like, oh, somebody's interested. It feels it's a good feeling. It's a good feeling.
You know, and I get my reward from making people happy. You know, understand? And so just fill your mind with positive thoughts and always look on the better side. You understand?
Of life.
You know, don't get me wrong. I have my crisis times. Even when I go to the hospital, like I said, you always need to talk to the Almighty. You see, when I say I ask God why, I'm always talking to Him like, why me though? Like when I'm having my crisis, I'll be in the ambulance and then taking me to the hospital, and I'll be praying in my head like, Lord, I'm in pain. When I'm in pain, like, Lord, if this is it, you know,
just take me.
like, look after my family, make sure everybody's blessed while I'm gone. But you keep telling me you're not done yet. You're still gonna prove to people that you know I am the God that made you, and you are healed by His stripes.
Yes, and I kept you for a reason. I kept you here for a reason, as evidence. You see for those of you, I mean, I derive my inspirations from the testimonies from the scripture. You understand? The man that was born blind. You understand? From what you just said, that just came to my spirit. The man that was born blind, that Jesus Christ healed the blind man. Yeah. Now, people were saying, could it be the sins of the parents? Could it be his sin? You understand? That made him blind. You know. But you see, he was born blind. So, but people really said some things out of ignorance. But you see, at the end, there was a place that Christ said that he was born like that for a time like this. You understand? Why? To prove the power of God through Christ, through the child, that the time when Christ would come, yeah, because there has to be evidence of the power of God. So God creates some situations in order to prove His majesty. You understand? So imagine Christ came and there was no such thing. This guy was born blind. Okay, he was born blind, and now when Christ came, he had work to do. That was how he proved. When the blind man was eyes was open, that was where God proved Himself. So what am I trying to say here? Like we said, God kept you. God kept you here. He said you ain't done yet. You're not going anywhere, because you will live to testify my power, my glory in you. And that is what you're doing today. You understand? To testify that God is in you and God is with you. Yes, and for everything that whoever, the normal, everybody, I don't know what is normal anyway. When they say this one is normal, that one is not normal, I'm like, excuse, what is normal? You understand? We all have something. You understand? So God has packaged you as a testimony to this generation. What people that have AA, people that have AS have, you have in abundance.
Yes.
You have in abundance. There are people that have AA, still they can't find a wife to love them. There are people that have AA, they can't find a child. They don't have a child to prove to. So you see that when people understand it that way, you don't prejudice, you don't stereotype anybody, you don't stigmatize anybody, because we all have a load that we are carrying. Yes. So this is what I want people to understand. Please share this video, share this message. God is doing something. We want to bring that understanding to people so that we know that we are all in the same boat. Another thing again, I mean, good thing we've been talking about how God is, but did He at some point, and anyway, you made some highlights there, on how it has affected your faith. Because I was going to ask you, did it at any point affect your faith? Which you mentioned, like, you ask God why.
I was always like, when I was younger, I'm always questioning Him, asking questions. Like, even when I'm in a crisis, I'm always just like, God, why are you gonna let me go through this pain like this? Why are you making me go through this so much punishment? Like, why? It's just I've been asking so many times, and somebody's made a statement one day that actually changed my mindset. And the statement,
your prayer points changed. Your prayer points are why.
It said God gave the hardest battles to the warriors. You understand? So, and I was like, wow.
Wow.
You know,
This
because
is true. It struck the chord for you.
Sometimes I always think like, if my other brothers, like, if God gave them that like thing, would they be able to handle it? Would they have strong mindset like the way I have?
Maybe not.
You know, understand?
Yeah, wow.
So maybe that's why I said you are very special.
You carry
like
you carry
out of four of you,
yeah.
it's like you
carry
one.
this, yeah.
You are the one I'm going
You are
to
special. you have the anointing. You have the grace. The grace is so much in you.
know,
It's true. It's
so
true.
to all my warriors out there, if you are living through it, just know that you're blessed. And you have story to tell, you know. So that's why you are here. And if you're going through it, trust me, just continue having faith. Don't believe what the doctors are saying that you're going to die at this age. No, nobody can tell you what to die. And it hurts me so many times when they said warriors die and that they die of sickle cell complications, because I always try to think like, I always try to picture in my head like, how did they, like, what happened? Like, did you just let go? Did you stop breathing? Did you just like, I'm like trying to find out what, like,
what made them lose the strength? Or
like you just I've always tried to like figure it like, what was it that painful? Because I feel pain. You understand? Like, was it that painful that much that they can't take it anymore and they just said, you know what, take me, Lord. You know, and every time I go through that pain, I always say I'm not, just heal me, make me feel better from this one. I know I'm gonna be out of the hospital very soon, so I always try to have that. Yeah, it hurts now, but I know once I get to the hospital, they give me my medication, my process that I go through in the hospital. I'll be out in a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks.
Again, it's about being positive.
Yeah.
You know, you hear the advice, you know, if you are facing similar situations, one, we have to understand that there's some things in our life that we all have cross to that we bear, that we have to carry. You understand? So it's about understanding that, you know, coming to that realization of, this is who I am. This is my cross. And once you understand that this is your cross, you know, when I start to understand that, you know, when my marriage broke up, you know, when I begin to understand that, I think I'm going to be single for a while. Was when I actually start flourishing.
Yeah.
You understand? At the beginning, I was like, oh no, I can't take it. Oh my God, what am I going to do with the children? How am I going to cope on my own 4 kids? You understand? So the moment I realized that this singleness, this man ain't coming back. You understand? This is my cross that I'm going to bear for a while. You know? For a while, for a long time. That was the moment I realized that, and I tell it to myself, that was when I started to pick the pieces. That was when I started to pick the pieces. And that brought me, then I channeled my attention, you know, into something more creative, more positive. Actually, that was when I went back to school anyway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you see,
yeah,
you filled your mindset
with something. So it's not me thinking about, you know, I don't know how I got that energy. You know, when you call God upon something, I don't know, we all have different faith. Wherever you're watching me from, we have different faith. You know, it's like going to a marketplace, and this one's coming from here. We are all coming from different directions, but one thing we have in common, all of us, whether you are Hindu, you are Buddhist, you are
Muslim.
Jewish, you are Muslim, Christian, whatever, we all one thing that we all have in common is that the one God.
Yeah.
One God. You understand? So we know that with God, when you call him and say, and when you know you have God, that there is God, and have this understanding that you are here for a purpose, and then we have the understanding that he controls the universe, he controls what happens, it's his kingdom.
sorry to cut you off. Like
No, that's okay,
there was an image that came in my head one of these days when I
Yes.
was thinking about sketch, and I said, like the Almighty, well, is it's like a child,
Yeah.
and it's like it's looking at us like from like it's playing with toys.
You
You understand? So it's like I want you to go there today. I want you to go there today. You are going to be rich today. You are going to drive that car today. You know, so
and you wait, hold on for a while.
Yeah.
Like the one we would call poor.
yeah.
You understand? You say you hold on for. I'm coming for you.
And that was so tricky for me because there was an incident that happened to me in a hospital, and I was like, this is how God works. There was a friend of us. I was in hospital. One of my friends came with me so they was gonna do a blood transfusion. So the battery died on my friend's phone, and another guy was coming to meet us.
Yeah.
No, there was two friends. Sorry, let me start the story. There was two friends. They were coming to see me in the hospital.
Yeah.
On the way they said they're coming to see me, my phone died. So they were taking me to go and do the blood test. For some reason, at one point in that hospital, all three of us met together at one point, one same spot.
Wow.
It's like they were pushing me to go to the blood test. One of my friends was coming through this way, and one of my friends was coming. The other one was coming through this way. And it came back to me. I was like, look how God is connecting people.
Wow.
Like these people don't know where I was going, but for somehow God directed to my direction to take me to where I was going.
Wow.
And that day I've always believed that if you don't believe in anything, you need to believe
in God.
You need to believe. Trust
Believe,
me.
believe, yes. Me, I believe in God. I believe that because you see, He orders our steps.
Yes, so you need to believe because
Yeah.
that thing freaked me that day. But I was like, and I was like, how did you know I was here? And it's like, how did you know we was here? You know,
that is the wonders of God.
Yeah, so I was surprised, and I was like, okay, this God is real.
It's real. It's real. It's real. It is real.
You know.
It's real. Apart from this, talking about sickle cell, some just dropped my spirit. I don't know. You know, you see, even when children come and you see this a lot in Asian countries. You know, children with two head or whatever. You know, some people think, oh, maybe it's their sin and everything. For me, I just feel it's just the way God creates his things. It's just the way he you know, if you still watch, when you go back to that country and, you know, there, they adore these children.
Of course.
You understand? They adore them.
They're special, they're unique.
You know, they are unique. So, whichever form, if we have understanding that we are not, you know, it's like you buy, it's like you buy clothes. It's yours. Nobody takes it from you. You know when you want to wear it. Imagine you buy, as you know, as Madame dress you today. Now you look this all good, and somebody else come and say no, you can't wear that. When the purpose, you know, was to make sure you look. You know what I'm trying to say, like. You got something for yourself, and then somebody else come and maybe pour a bottle of oil on it. You're gonna get hurt.
Of course.
You understand? So what am I trying to? What am I driving at here is that we are God's vessel. We are His. He turns us how He wants to turn us. Do you understand? So how He wants to create, He creates. Do you understand? So whether somebody is born conjoined or whatever, you know, it's just about understanding. And those countries, they'll tell you that's how God created them. And who are them to complain or to, you know, so imagine those days when they would kill twins. You know, they used to kill twins those days in Africa.
Well, also in Africa,
you know,
sickle cell children are called abiku, witchcraft.
Oh my God!
That's what they call them, witchcraft.
Oh
so
God.
They tell maybe somebody in your relatives is a witch.
It's a witch. That's why you are born like that.
Born
wow,
like that. You're
wow.
always sick and stuff. So there's so many stigma that come with it.
Stigma that comes with it. Please,
you know,
as you've heard. You know, so one last thing I want to, you know, so if somebody wants to get in touch with you as a comedian,
yes,
how can they reach you?
Well, as my name is said, ADE, Ade ADE, which stands for Africans Do Everything. So that's
Wow.
You didn't know that one.
No, I
Yeah?
didn't know. No, but is it your real name though?
No, my real name is Ade Aluko on Facebook. And
Yeah.
my social media name for my stand-up comedy name is Africans Do Everything.
Wow. So your real name, you now find a word
Word for it.
For
so
it.
Ade is
Ade.
Africans.
African
Do.
I think you came up with that because you're a comedian, so you African do everything.
Africans. So
Africans do
everything.
everything.
Yes,
Tell me about it. We do everything.
And the reason why behind that everything is because of the gift and talent that God has made me to take away this sickle cell thing.
Amen.
So
yes,
like you said,
yes.
you see me doing film stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
sometimes I do stand-up comedy, I do photography.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
so
It's all the positive things that you create for yourself
So-
that you go into that helps you to manage all these things. Because
Yes.
while you are thinking it, you are drinking your water.
Exactly. Yes, like you see.
You know, the water is life.
Water.
Oh. Cheers, drink water. Make I drink my own too.
Yes, so.
Mm.
So yeah, one of the things is drink water. And if you're living in the UK, it's cold weather. Wear your jacket. Keep warm. Make everything. Keep warm. Your health is okay. Eat right. You understand? Don't do excessive stuff. Don't carry every load. Do something to relax your mind. Music, gym. Even if you want to gym, you don't have to go lift heavy weights. Just do a little salsa dancing, Afrobeat dancing, something that's not too
Strenuous.
strenuous that make you,
yeah.
you know, just do something that you like, something that keeps you happy. That when you do it, you feel good inside. So
yes.
that's one of the things that
that you need to consider looking at.
Yeah.
You know, try to figure out. That is amazing. That's amazing. So, do you have Instagram where they can reach us?
Yes, it's Africans Do Everything.
If you want to get Mr. and let me scream it out loud because Africans do everything is your Instagram page, yeah? But what about Facebook?
Ade Aluko.
Ade Aluko.
Yes.
If you go on Facebook, you can follow him up there.
Yeah.
Very soon he will be acting out some because I told him, I said that you need to start making because when you go to big stages, we don't see the video, so we want to start seeing it. So he would be.
My YouTube has got just type in Africans Do Everything. You see all my blogs, all my face there. All this stuff. And I'm moving on now. I'm graduating from my comedy into MCing events.
Yeah, exactly. So
if you're getting married and you need an MC for your party,
this is the right man to call.
Alert me and I'll come and show you my talent.
Exactly. Weddings, birthdays, and even if a funeral, you want someone to come and MC. I don't know why that.
That is serious. Cause let me tell you, how are you gonna make people laugh?
No, not laugh. Maybe to just sometimes you just.
No, it's tough. I've done one before.
Have you?
It was tough
because it's a celebration.
I know.
I think it's the area that you should.
I know, but I was just thinking.
I'm already laughing. I don't know if you start cracking more. My joy is already.
I know.
This is the. I don't know if I've laughed this much on my show like
good
this.
That you are laughing. That's good.
Yeah. Because I'm already laughing. Like I've laughed so much, my jaw is hurting. And we never kickstart, So yes. So that I think I don't know about you, but I have learned so much from you today. I've learned so much, and I'm also blessed. I'm more enlightened. My scope of understanding has gone beyond like it used to, and I thank God for that because he said to you that you're not going now because he said you need to go and testify the goodness of God upon your life so that people like me will hear and will be enriched with wisdom and with knowledge.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, and audience that are watching, I hope that you have you got something from this, you are enlightened. If you are watching this video as a rewind, please, I would encourage you to share this message. Let your loved ones hear about it, especially if you are from the African part of the region.
Yeah.
Please do share. Let them hear from someone who is living in it, and how he's living with it, and how he had prospered despite that challenge. You understand? And the greatest thing is that you are a warrior, because it's like when you're able to, they say there is no hero without a bruise. You understand? You have come a long way in this. I think what we need to do now, we're going to give the audience, if there's any question that you have to ask, this is the right time to ask it through video, or a video call, through calling us. So we're going to see, or you text us. So let us see if there's any question. Okay. How do a sickle cell, Mr. Fred said, how do a sickle cell patient can be able to kill the mindset of untimely death or the fear of suicide? I think that you've answered that one. I think that was the gentleman that called to ask, how can they change their mindset? I think that's what I mean by killing that negative mindset. So I think we've answered that one. He said, can a sickle cell patient be a donor, blood or organs, to any patient of different genotype?
Not the blood.
What do you think?
Not the blood. I'm not sure about the organs. I've never.
They can. Yeah.
I've
Okay,
never
but what about blood? Can they?
Can't do blood.
Yeah. Okay. So, Mr. Fred, the answer to that question is that they are not. Medically, they don't. Blood
They said that blood is a bit abnormal.
Yes.
So.
Yeah,
you need normal.
that word. So it's not advisable to pass the blood to the next person, so they can't do that. Yes. Okay, somebody's responded. Adaniel Okpara said, yes, he's a wonderful God. Our God is wonderful. Good work, keep it up. Somebody's saying that we should keep it up. Well, Africans do everything. Somebody responded to your this thing. And because I keep going off and on, so I can't see everybody, unless I screw them. I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. It wouldn't look nice.
I don't want to disturb it.
Yeah, so this is the right time. If there's any question that you have, this is the time for you to, an opportunity to ask him question that to enlighten you more. We're going to give about 2 minutes before we sign out, so that there's anything, he's right here to take your calls and your questions or your texts. Mr. Ade, thank you so much.
No, that's fine.
It's
Thank
really
you for
a blessing.
For giving me the opportunity to come and share my knowledge and my wisdom. And just to the people out there, like I was saying, like, there's stages that you will go through with depression and stuff that you're always thinking miserable. You feel like you can't. There's time that you get tired, that you don't want to do anything. It's normal, but the thing about it is, just don't let it weigh you down.
Yeah.
Because when I tell you, before I started doing comedy, I used to worry about this thing so much that it didn't let me move out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
But as soon as I break that psychological thinking, I was moving fast.
Wow.
And when I founded comedy would just made it easier for me. And all the time that I used to get called names when I was younger, and call this, it now built me to be that comedian.
Wow.
You understand?
Wow.
Like, even when people are we do this kind of banter on stage, that we battle against each other. So they will say some stuff, You know, like back in school days when you
they
are
don't tease you.
you
They
just
don't
tease
tease you some kind.
So now
you're gonna think you're like
yeah. Exactly.
You're gonna punch you.
Yeah.
What with
like,
words?
So like now when I'm doing that on stage, it just felt like I've heard all the things that
You've
they've
heard the words
before. So this one is just a little bit. No.
This one is small.
It's just small thing.
They're not calling
They
it.
just call me so.
Different thing.
So and always make sure you believe in yourself, you know, and like if you have something in your, every one of us has got gifts. Like we came with gifts.
Yes.
So if there's something that's touching you in your heart that said you need to do this, you need to do this, that's what you need to go for. If it's good. You understand?
Yeah, it's good. Yeah. If you have the notch to go and rob the lock of the bank.
Don't do that one. The good stuff. You understand?
So when they will throw that at you, you will not use it.
You know. So like always that thing that's always telling you this and you have in your heart. Because me, like when I was younger, one of the things that I always amused about is how did they, like I used to watch a lot of movies. So I always thinking like, how did they make that movie? What did they do in that film? What did they do that? And that's why I am doing what I'm doing now. Like when you're on set.
Exactly. It's about that thing that drives you, that makes you, like, if you see people sad, you notice that.
Yeah.
You will do everything to make them happy.
Yeah.
You know, like me, I with time I come to see that, you know, counseling is is I'm born inside. You know the interesting thing is that, do you know, it's not like you find it, you've just activated it.
Yeah.
It's in us. You understand? But it comes to that point where when the time comes, we start having the nudge.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
When you're around somebody that is sad, you want to make them happy.
Yeah.
When I'm around somebody who is going through some stress, I always find this word. I always have this word that I'll just say to them, where I will say it. They will say to me, "Oh, you just have this calm voice, this calm way of talking." You know, even to Europeans, they will say, "You have this way of talking that is really very soothing, that just suit the mind." So with time, I begin to understand that I was born to do that job, and in order to practice it officially, I have to now go and now it's like basically prove my ability. You understand? In school, to prove my ability is like when you can drive but you don't have license. So you need to prove it by actually taking some tests, and then they will now give it. You pass it, take the evidence, so show you, collect the this thing, the pink card. You know, we know you can drive, but you need to prove it. So whatever it is, apart from looking at the situation, whatever it is in life, it's about activating our ability inside of us. So it looks like there's no new questions or no one is calling now. So, but you can always ask us a question even afterwards. In case you are watching, you are not watching us live. I will encourage you, ask us questions. Mr Ade Aluko, he would always reply because he's connected to it. So he will always see your message and they reply you and encourage you at the same time. So thank you all of you for wherever you are watching from, wherever you are.
I salute you.
So thank you so much. And before I go, what's the name of your son again?
Aaron.
Aaron, if you're watching with mommy and Aaron, thank you so much for being part of everything that we are doing. Thank you so much for being a blessing to all of us. So do take care, and until next time, please, as always, do share the message. Be a part of the solution. Be a part of what the world is looking for by sharing this video. Encourage someone, motivate someone, inspire someone, help someone to be positive in life. Until next time, please do continue to tune in on Tina Talk Show, where we'll bring you some interesting topic to enlighten us. And thank you. Till then. So we sign out and bye for now. Bye everyone.